hydrodynamically balanced system work properly. And then this is where the drainage tube normally would come. So let's take a look at our little demonstration situation here. Here we've got a simulated bladder, and we've just got some fluid coming in which simulates the urine. Here's the Foley catheter, which is inserted into the simulated bladder. Our Urocycler is in place immediately after the Foley, and again, remember, it's non-invasive. And then we have a specially sized drainage tube that goes into a relatively standard drainage bag, and it's this smaller sized drainage tube which again helps us have a hydrodynamically balanced system which allows full emptying of the bladder. So I'm going to start up the system by putting urine into the bladder. And again, you'll remember I said that between 15 and 30 centimeters of a column of water is the pressure that's required to separate the two magnets. So we're not talking about volume in any case here. It can be a little volume or a lot of volume. It doesn't make any difference the size of the bladder. It's the pressure that's going to activate the valve, which is very important. So as we're continuing to fill the bladder up, the patient eventually will get to the place where they feel like they want to void. At least in the past, that's the pressure that they'll have felt. And at that point, we'll see the valve start to open. So we've got fluid in here. Again, this is where our physician sampling port is located on the upside, right after the catheter. And again, that's going to give us the freshest possible urine from the bladder at any point in time. Now, as the bladder has enough pressure to open up the valve, you're going to start to see a fluid come down in the downline of the drainage tube. And within that, you're also going to start to see some bubbles. Okay, there it goes right now. So now we're draining down fully. You'll see the bubbles associated with this drainage. Those bubbles are coming in again through that micropore filter. And those bubbles allow a suction effect to take place and keep those magnets apart, even though the pressure in the bladder itself is decreasing. The magnets will continue to stay apart, the bubbles will continue to keep the siphon effect in place, and the magnets will stay open until the bladder is completely empty. The other function of the bubbles actually is to disrupt the biofilm that constantly is being deposited on the inside of the drainage tube. And the bubbles have an agitating effect and actually will cause that biofilm to be reduced. You'll notice also that this drainage line, unlike the ones that are in the standard drainage systems in nursing homes or wherever other Foleys are used, you'll notice that this drainage line will drain very quickly, in about a minute and a half. And again, it's because of the input of air in this drainage line that we allow this drainage to take place. So we never have any standing urine in the downline, which is very important. So even though the bag itself may be raised above, let's say the level of the bladder, what's in the bag will stay in the bag. If there is anything in the tube, it will come up to the point where it hits our valve, and the valve will be closed at that point in time. So we're an anti-reflux valve, and we protect the patient from getting any reflux back from anything lower than the valve itself. And that's pretty much it. And the product has been